So we're just here talking about leadership, nothing script, nothing programmed. We're just here talking, and it's again, Pastor Dinah, is a privilege and honor to be here in this beautiful sanctuary.
Thank you for having me.
Amen, amen, amen. We're just here talking about leadership. I want to talk about the inner circle of leaders.
Okay.
I'm going to be presenting a workshop entitled Building a Next Level Executive Leadership Team, talking about the inner circle of leaders. And one thing I believe, and it's a quote from John Maxwell, that your inner circle of leaders determine your potential as a senior leader. Those who are close to you determine how far you're going to go.
Okay.
And I know you had your challenges in leadership and
Absolutely.
dealing with people in your inner circle. There may be some people who were part of your inner circle that's no longer part of your inner circle anymore. And the same with me as well. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about how do you cultivate that inner circle? What's the process you go through to establish an inner circle of leaders who you can trust, you can depend on, who is loyal to you, and you can delegate responsibility to them and not be concerned about whether it's being done or not.
Amen. How I've done it in the past, of course I've had to change up some things, but how I've done it in the past is just find out who is actually for me.
Amen.
And for the ministry.
Right.
And then once I've spent time with them and I found out where their heart is, then I can actually take them and grow them to the next level. To cultivate, we know that Jesus had inner circle,
right?
And I try to make sure that I have put some of those principles that he used into place.
Talk a little bit about the servant leader, because we know that any person that's in leadership should be a servant.
Yes. I think sometimes people that come in with, or have titles, leadership titles, sometimes feel like they ought to be the one that is served. But it's opposite. On the contrary, those who really have the titles are really here to serve the people of God, to enlarge them, to cause them to go to the next level of leadership, if you will. And so it's important that they come in, they follow the vision of the house, submit to that vision, that they don't carry their own heartbeat or own vision, but it's complete the vision of that house. And whenever leadership don't really submit or serve the vision of the house, chaos and conflict is usually produced out of not serving the vision of the house. And we certainly don't want chaos in the house. And many times what we have done is we have set people in leadership places because of what we see, or maybe their eloquence, or other circumstances that will invite them to be leaderships. But really, if they don't have the heart of the ministry, or you don't see them serving even their own families, that is a good clue they're not going to really submit it and servitude to the house.
And I just want to encourage all the leaders that may be listening now, is that when God is calling you to do something, get the right people on your team, and stay focused and stay faithful to what God has called you.
My God.
And then sow vision that others can grab that vision.
Absolutely.
It's not for you to run with it by yourself. It's for others to take that vision and also run with it, because the whole thing is God's giving you assignment, and your assignment is to get people to understand the vision that he's giving you for the church. If you're a pastor, that's your assignment. And then we get the lay members behind it. We get our leaders behind it. And then we make sure that they have your heart. Right. If they have your heart, you have success.
Amen, amen. And I like where Bishop is going with this, because we have a workshop entitled Lay Leadership Supporting Pastoral Vision.
Amen.
And you know, Bishop, and I know that we can't do it by ourselves.
No.
We can't do it by ourselves. We need people who will connect with us. And one of the things that you said is having the leader's heart.
Amen.
And I want you just to elaborate on that a little bit.
Leader's heart. Me and my wife, through the years, we understand that a lot of people want to come and work in ministry, but they don't have they could have a good intent, but the wrong motive. And so having the leader's heart means simply that when the leader says something, that you don't try to critique it, or you don't try to change it to suit more suitable for you. If I was to ask you, as a lay member, and you was on the grill and I was asked for a steak, and I said I just want salt and pepper on it, just because you got some seasoning that you brought from home. If I need the salt and pepper, that's what I need.
Amen.
Because maybe you may have a better method of doing it, but it's not the right time for that. And so we realize and understand is that when you have the heart of the pastor, you would do exactly what the leader is asking, the man or woman of God is asking you to do. And then number two, if you have any concerns, because you have the right heart, you are going to talk to them behind the doors and not try to bring exposure into the congregation. So I really believe that if a lay member has the heart of the pastor or heart of their leader, what their assignment is, they don't mind fulfilling that assignment. Because I tell this church all the time, I say, y'all make us look good.
Right.
Because when you have people that have your heart, they bring the exposure. They the one that set the tone. Because others don't see us in certain places. Right. But when they have the heart of the pastor, heart of the church, they'll take that out there and it'll bring people right into your presence. And so I really believe if they have that heart, then the people of God will come following because they see what they're doing.
Amen. Amen. Look. I've been to so many conferences all over the nation. I've been to big wig conferences, small wig conferences, middle wig conferences, no wig conferences. And I'm telling you, for real, yours is second to none. It's second to none.
Amen.
We went there. We walked out fulfilled. We walked out with a sense of purpose. We met people that were willing to work with us. Because what happens when you many, but you have mega vision, but you don't have mega money. You got many money. And so I'm here to tell you, at some point, you want to be able to work with someone who can work in the spirit of excellence and get you to that place where you can then be able to do what you envision in order to get to the next level.
Yes.
And I think that's such a great name. Next level leadership. I'm telling you, at some point, you got to want to go to the next level.
You got to.
Either that or I'll go ahead and go get a job and get out of this. You got to have the passion.
It's in our DNA.
Yes.
It should be in our DNA to have a desire to increase and to move further than where you are right now.
Right.
And I believe that this conference, a pastor, a bishop, apostle, whoever you may be a lay leader, and you may want to take this information back to your pastor and share it with him or her, and really encourage them to be a part of what God is doing here in the Hampton Roads. We're going to the next level. We've been going to the next level year after year, and God has just been tremendously blessing.
Well, as we were stating earlier, when you talk about covenant, when people understand covenant, when you understand covenant, then you learn how to value your partnerships and value the people that you're in partnership with. I like the saying that I heard some time ago, that you have to be careful who you connect with. You've got to understand an eagle has sharp sight and flies very high, but sometimes get confused. People confuse an eagle with a buzzard.
Right.
A buzzard will eat anything, and doesn't want to chase his food. He wants it already dead. It wants it not moving. It doesn't want to challenge. You got to make sure you're not hooked to buzzards where all they want to do is leech off of something someone else already done. They don't want to go out and explore. They don't want to go out and have to do anything of their own or be a way maker themselves or a forerunner. But you got to make sure, if you're an eagle, how do I know I'm an eagle? I'm a person that's never satisfied with good enough. I'm a person that's always looking for the next dimension, the next level. I'm that leader that I'm always putting more input. I want to learn. I'm going to conferences like Next Level Leader, one of the most powerful conferences in the country. I tell you, I take my people every year. I promise you, if you'll take yours, it'll explode your ministry. Part of the explosion of growth here is because of the Next Level Leader Conference. So I promise you, go check it out. But you got to make sure that you're hooked to eagles. An eagle is a person that's always looking. His sight is honed in. He's never asleep. And you got to be careful of this one thing. When vision becomes indecision, what happens is people you're connected to in partnership, you allow them to start imparting into your vision that God gave you. And once you start putting in what folks say, then you'll get away from what God said. And now you got indecision instead of vision. So a lot of people are operating because of covenant partnership with people that are not on their level, that have the look, but don't have the strength to fly where you're flying. don't have the lung capacity to breathe at the level that you're flying at, where God wants you at.
Right.
That's why some of you feel like you're bound, you're suffocating. It's because you're flying at an altitude that's not equipped, that you're not equipped for. You got to make sure that you're flying in the right altitude.
Right.
So you got to be careful.